He was just a night shift taxi driver. For 12 years, he worked Manhattan's dark streets, transporting passengers, making minimal conversation, not talking much to anyone, and no one ever questioned who he really was. Until that young girl got into his taxi. Scared, panicking, looking behind her, begging, "Please don't let them follow me." When Vinny saw the black car in his mirror, he knew something was very wrong. And what he did next would shock all of New York. Welcome to Hidden Hero Stories. Before we begin this powerful story, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this need to be told, hit that subscribe button to support our channel. New York City's night shift was a completely different world from daytime. Neon lights, nightclubs, late working professionals, tourists, and sometimes suspicious characters. Vincent Torrino, whom everyone called Vinny, was a 59-year-old taxi driver who was part of this world. Vinny started work every night at 9 p.m. with yellow cab number 4C7, finishing at 6 a.m. An old Crown Vic model taxi, but well-maintained, clean. Vinny knew his car very well. He understood the meaning of every sound, every vibration. He'd been doing this job for 12 years. He was reliable, quiet, a driver who caused no trouble. He wasn't a taxi medallion owner, worked for a fleet company. A modest life, modest income. But Vinny's habits were different from other taxi drivers. For instance, he constantly checked his mirrors, observed his surroundings, not just traffic, but people, cars, suspicious activities. As if he was constantly doing threat assessment. On the night shift, he encountered all kinds of passengers. Wall Street executives, young people leaving parties, hospital workers, sometimes more suspicious types. Vinny would act professional with everyone, distant but polite. "Where to?" he'd say to passengers. Minimal conversation. He didn't engage in unnecessary chat. But his eyes were always active. The passengers' behavior, cars following from behind, abnormalities in the environment. As if he had 360-degree awareness, other taxi drivers called Vinny the ghost driver because he was so quiet, so careful, as if trying to be invisible. "Vinny, why are you so paranoid?" his friend Mike had asked one day. "I'm not paranoid, Mike. You have to be careful. Anything can happen in this city." These words seemed too heavy for a taxi driver. But if they knew Vinny's past, they'd understand. Vinny's daily routine was very systematic. Every night before starting work, he would completely inspect his vehicle. Not just mechanical checks, but security sweeps, as if searching for listening devices in the car. Inside his taxi were some unusual things. A small mirror system on the dashboard, providing much more comprehensive coverage than a normal rear-view mirror. This was professional-grade equipment for surveillance detection. Also, Vinny's route knowledge was incredible. He knew every street in Manhattan, every alternative route, every blind spot. But he didn't just know them, he had strategies. If there was an emergency situation, he'd planned how to escape, where to get backup. Though he kept conversation with passengers minimal, he observed them very well. Body language, stress indicators, deception signs. As if he were a human lie detector. Once, he'd picked up a suspicious passenger. The man was very nervous, constantly looking behind him, using encrypted messaging apps on his phone. Vinny immediately became alert, changed the route, passed near a police station. The passenger got out nervously. "How did you know he was suspicious?" Mike had asked. "Micro-expressions, body language, operational security mistakes. If you get training, you see these things." "What training?" Vinny had stopped. "Long story, Mike." Vinny's apartment was also unusual, minimalist but strategically positioned. Security cameras, multiple exit routes, go bag always ready, like an operational safe house. Neighbors thought he was retired police. The truth was much more complex. On Manhattan's night shift, Vinny saw a lot. Drug deals, prostitution, illegal gambling, organized crime activities. But he never got involved. See nothing, know nothing policy. But sometimes there were unavoidable situations. Once, a young girl had gotten into his taxi, very scared, saying, "Please save me." Vinny had taken the girl to a police station. She'd escaped from a human trafficking ring. "How did you stay so calm?" the police had asked. "Experience," Vinny had said. "You can't panic in crisis situations." After such incidents, Vinny tried to be even more low profile. He didn't want attention, because in his past he'd gotten too much attention, and that attention had cost his family. Vinny's wife Linda and daughter Maria had died in a car accident 12 years ago, but Vinny knew it wasn't an accident. It was retaliation, the result of one of his CIA operations. From that day on, Vinny had left everything, become a ghost, became a taxi driver. Anonymous, invisible, forgotten. Sunday night, October 23rd, 11:45 p.m. Vinny was cruising the Upper East Side. Quiet night, minimal traffic. Just then, a young girl frantically waved from a street corner. Early 20s, Asian American, expensive clothes, but disheveled, panic in her eyes. Vinny stopped. The girl immediately jumped into the back seat. "JFK Airport, please. Can you hurry?" Vinny looked at the girl through the rearview mirror. Stress indicators everywhere, trembling hands, rapid breathing, constantly checking behind. "Miss, you okay?" Yes, just please drive." Vinny started moving, but professional instinct kicked in. This girl was in danger. 2 blocks later, Vinny saw a black Mercedes in the mirror, following at distance. Professional tail. "Miss," Vinny said carefully, "someone following you." The girl panicked. "What? How do you know?" "Black Mercedes 3 cars behind since we left." The girl looked back, panicked even more. "Oh God, it's them. What am I going to do?" Vinny made a decision. This wasn't a normal taxi ride. This was an extraction. "What's your name, miss?" "Sophie Chen. Chen, Asian surname, expensive clothes, being followed by professionals." Vinny's mind raced. "Sophie, are you from a diplomat family?" Sophie was surprised. "How? Yes. My father is an ambassador." Puzzle pieces fitting together. Diplomat's daughter, professional surveillance team, attempted kidnapping or worse. "Sophie, listen carefully. I'm going to take you to a safe place, but you need to do exactly what I say." "Who are you? You're not just a taxi driver, right?" Vinny checked the Mercedes in the mirror. Closer now, more aggressive. "Long story, Sophie. Now buckle up and hold on." Vinny switched to operational mode. 23 years of CIA training automatically kicked in. First priority, surveillance detection and confirmation. Was the Mercedes just coincidence or deliberate tail? He tested. Random right turn, 3 blocks, left turn, 2 blocks, U-turn. Mercedes followed every move. Confirmed tail. Second priority, tail assessment. How many vehicles, how many operatives, aggression level. Besides the Mercedes, there were 2 more cars, dark SUV, sedan, professional team, probably 6 to 8 people. Third priority, threat assessment, lethal or non-lethal, kidnapping or assassination. They seem to need Sophie alive. Kidnapping for ransom or political leverage. "Sophie," Vinny said, "which country is your father ambassador for?" "Taiwan's UN representative." "Ah, geopolitical kidnapping. China-Taiwan tensions, Sophie would be used as leverage." "Sophie, does your father have a security detail?" "Yes, but I snuck out of the house tonight. I wanted to go to a party." Classic diplomat kid mistake. Security gap exploited. Vinny pulled out his phone. Speed dial number 3. Emergency contact hadn't called in 12 years. "Rebecca Martinez, CIA." "Becca, it's Vincent." Silence. "Vinny? Jesus Christ, 12 years. Where have you been?" "Emergency. Ambassador Chen's daughter is with me. Being pursued by professional team. Need immediate extraction." "Wait, where are you?" "Questions later. Deploy team to Broadway and 125th Street. 15 minutes. "Vinny, you're retired?" "I'm still the asset. Move." Sophie listened in amazement. You're a government agent. Former CIA. Now just a taxi driver." "But, Sophie, focus. We're going to do everything to get you out." Vinny got onto Broadway. Heavy traffic, multiple escape routes, public witnesses, good tactical position. The Mercedes team became more aggressive, exploiting traffic gaps, following closer. Vinny's driving skills came from CIA training. High-speed pursuit, evasive maneuvers, urban navigation under pressure. At 120th Street, red light. Vinny stopped, but engine running, escape route calculated. Mercedes approached. Back doors opened, 2 men got out, started walking toward Vinny's taxi. "Sophie, down! Now!" Vinny hit the gas, ran the red light, tires screaming. Sophie cried out, scared. "It's okay, Sophie, I'm an expert driver." Phone rang. Rebecca. "Vinny, team 3 minutes out. Location?" "Broadway southbound, approaching 118th. "Copy. Black team ready to intercept." Vinny checked the Mercedes, still following but keeping distance. They couldn't risk shooting in a public area, but 2 blocks later, a construction zone began. Traffic bottleneck, perfect ambush point. Shit, muttered Vinny. Sophie raised her head. What's happening? They're setting a trap, but I know traps. Vinny made a sudden right turn, entered a side street. One-way street, wrong direction. Illegal, but tactically smart. Oncoming traffic honking, cursing. But Mercedes couldn't follow. Too risky. Alternate route, said Vinny. I know this city like the back of my hand. Back alley, parking garage, service road. Routes normal drivers don't know. Sophie was impressed. You really were a spy, weren't you? Not like in spy movies. Real CIA is more boring. But this is exciting. Exciting gets people killed, Sophie. Approaching 125th Street, Vinny saw federal vehicles, black SUVs, professional positioning, communication equipment, phone ring, Rebecca. Vinny, do you see blue team? Affirmative. ETA 30 seconds. Good. Hand off Sophie, you disappear. Negative. I'm a witness. Need debrief. Vinny, you've been a ghost for 12 years. Nobody knows you're alive. Now they know. Vinny approached the federal convoy. Professional agents got out, secured Sophie. Agent Rebecca Martinez approached Vinny. 15 years younger, but senior position. Vinny's former student. Vincent Torrino, the ghost man himself. Hello, Becca. Where did you disappear to? After the family tragedy, no contact. Grief process. Needed a different life. CIA family missed you. Vinny looked at Sophie. Now safe, under federal protection. Becca, this operation has international implications. Taiwan-China tensions, Diplomat family targeted. We know. The team that tried to kidnap Sophie is an international crime syndicate, state-sponsored. Chinese intelligence? Plausible deniability, but yes, likely. Sophie approached Vinny. Mr. Vincent, thank you, you saved my life. Sophie, you're a smart girl, but don't ignore security protocols. I learned my lesson. A debrief session was held at the federal building. Vinny was inside a CIA facility for the first time in 12 years. Director David Chen, no relation to Sophie, came personally. Agent Torrino, legend in person. Former agent, I'm retired. Your heroics don't look retired. In the debrief session, Vinny explained everything. Timeline, surveillance detection, threat assessment, extraction protocols. Textbook operation, said Rebecca, as if you never left. Muscle memory, training never disappears. Director Chen made an approach. Vincent, the agency needs experienced operatives. Consulting position? No thanks, I'm happy as a taxi driver. But you're wasting your talent. Talent isn't wasted. I gather street-level intelligence. Different perspective. Rebecca smiled. Always the philosopher. The next day, Ambassador James Chen personally visited Vinny. Mr. Torrino, I don't know how to thank you for saving my daughter. Mr. Ambassador, I just did my job. Job? You're a taxi driver, but you acted like a CIA operative. Former CIA, now just Vincent. My family is in your debt for life. Not necessary. Sophie's a good kid. A little reckless, but good heart. Ambassador Chen offered an envelope. Small token of appreciation. Vinny refused. Don't need money. Sophie's safety is enough reward. The story leaked to the media. Taxi driver saves diplomat's daughter headlines. Vinny refused interview requests, wanted to maintain low profile, but the taxi company was impressed. Fleet manager Joe came. Vinny, you're a hero. Company's proud. Joe, I just did driving. CIA driving. You're a legend. Other taxi drivers looked at Vinny differently. No longer ghost driver, but hero driver. Vinny, were you really in the CIA? Mike asked. Long time ago, Mike. Different life. Do you regret it? Leaving CIA, Vinny thought. Number CIA life cost me everything. This life is simple, peaceful. But tonight was exciting. Excitement is overrated, Mike. A week later, Sophie came to Vinny's taxi. Different girl, with security detail, proper protocols. Mr. Vincent, good to see you. Hello, Sophie. Nice security detail. Yes, learned my lesson, but I wanted to talk to you. About what? Your story. You're an incredible person. Why did you choose ordinary life? Vinny answered while watching traffic. Sophie, extraordinary life comes at an extraordinary price. I lost my family. Peace is more valuable. But you can help people. I do help. Different way. Every night I meet different people. Everyone has a story. Sometimes listening is enough help. Sophie understood. You're a philosopher taxi driver. Maybe. Or just a tired old spy. A month later, the CIA director personally arranged a recognition ceremony. Private, no media. Agent Vincent Torrino, exceptional service recognition. Plaque, for valor and dedication beyond retirement, Vinny accepted gracefully. Thank you, Director. Doors always open, Vincent. If you ever change your mind, I appreciate it, but I'm content with my current life. Rebecca had a private conversation. Vinny, don't you miss it? Action, adrenaline, making a difference. Becca, I made a difference for 23 years. Sometimes difference is in peaceful life. Every passenger is a different story, different need. That's also service. You're inspiring. You're the new generation leader. I'm proud of you. 3 months later, Vinny was still driving the same taxi, doing the same night shift. But now everyone knew he wasn't just a taxi driver. Sophie would visit occasionally, with proper security protocols, but they'd built a genuine friendship. Mr. Vincent, do you regret it? The quiet life? Vinny watched Manhattan's nightlights. Sophie, I learned that real heroism is in quiet service. Every night I help different people. Lonely elderly, scared tourists, people in crisis. Sometimes a listening ear is enough. But you could do world-changing operations. The world changes through small actions, one person at a time. Mike approached. Vinny, you'd be better as a philosophy professor. Vinny laughed. Mike, I'm already a teacher, life teacher. Vinny still drives the same yellow cab number 4, C7, still does the same night shift, maintains the same quiet professionalism. But now everyone knows that sometimes the greatest protectors serve in the most ordinary-looking jobs. And maybe today you passed by a protector without noticing. Tell us in the comments, have you ever encountered such a hidden protector? Someone you thought was ordinary but then learned their true identity? Don't forget to subscribe to Hidden Hero Stories. We share powerful stories like this every day. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, take another look at the ordinary-looking people around you. Maybe they're protecting you in ways you never knew.